You guys know about the fact that we've been on Zoom lately because we can't have meetings in person, right? That's just been like the normal. I personally don't like any Zooms, bro. I don't like doing Zoom. I've made a vow I won't do any more Zooms. But long story short, obviously here we did the thing for the teens church every Saturday. Basically every Saturday, bro, we go on Zoom with the teens here at this church every Saturday at 2 o'clock. The teens will come on in the beginning, but as the summer goes on, as time goes on, it's like kids really want to be on Zoom at 2 o'clock on a Saturday. You see what I'm saying? And that was something I knew, and I figured, well, let's just see what happens. Let's see how this goes. Long story short, there was a young man who came to the Zoom faithfully every single time. Like I could count on this young man being in the Zoom, and it was powerful because his name was Jeremiah. And y'all know based off the Bible, that's a powerful name. We know who Jeremiah is in the Word, so. This young man came on the Zoom faithfully. And he could have probably thought, this isn't like a fun thing to do, but he came. I don't know where his mind is about the Zooms, but he came. And as the summer progressed, the numbers started to go down less and less in a sense where not a lot of kids were showing up for the Zoom. Again, Saturday at 2 o'clock. But there was this one day I was assigned to teach, and two kids showed up. It was Jeremiah and another person. And we were just talking about just some things about school and making sure, checking on everybody, how they finished out, what were their report cards saying and stuff like that, how were their grades and stuff like that. We were just talking about how well we did, and some of the kids were telling, the A's that they got. We were like, oh, congratulations, like we're proud of you, stuff like that. And then my pastor gets on the Zoom out of nowhere. He just jumps on the Zoom. He's like, hey, what's up, everybody, him and his wife. And, we're all just listening to them talk. And he just stops Zoom and says, listen, whoever got 5 straight A's gets $500. And the two kids that were there are going crazy. And I'm like, wow, that's dope, what I'm saying? $500 for the A's and stuff like that. So long story short, Jeremiah had straight A's, you know what I'm saying? So essentially he got $500, and I was proud of him. I was like, congratulations, bro, you just got $500. That's pretty dope, bro. $500 for your A's. Now, mind you, something just struck me, and I really believe God started to minister to me. Jeremiah and a lot of some of his friends got straight A's this year. And I asked him, I said, bro, how many of your friends got straight A's? He said, like most of them. I said, but how many of them got $500? And he's like, none of them. And I said, you didn't get $500 for your straight A's, right? You got $500 for being at the right place at the right time. And God was really just speaking to me, and as I was talking to him, and God was just showing me how it's so important sometimes to be in the right position. You could have all the things that qualify you. You could have all the things that, make you eligible, but you're not in the right place. You're not where you're really called to be. You see what I'm saying? So essentially, he could have got straight A's this year, and he could have never got $500. He could have easily said, this Zoom isn't really worth my while. I really don't feel like listening to no, Al talking right now. It's 2 o'clock on a Saturday. I got other places I want to go, other places I want to be. And essentially, he chose, what? Despite it all, I'm going to show up. I'm going to go to this Zoom call, not knowing that one day he would get $500 just for showing up. You see what I'm saying? He could easily, again, got straight A's and not $500, but being at the right place at the right time in his right position, that's essentially where he was called to be. The teens are supposed to gather every Saturday at 2 o'clock. And I just thought that was so dope, especially concerning my life and a lot of people around me's life. We have to be in the right position. It's like, there's some people like, well, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, but you're not in the right position. You're not where you're called to be. Essentially, it's like taking a flower and keeping it in a dark room. But I watered it. I try to make sure it got everything the soil needed, but you don't have it in sunlight so that flower won't grow. It's very simple. Put that flower in its right position in the outdoors where the sunlight can reach it. That flower is going to blossom and be healthy. It's sometimes you may be in the wrong position. And I know for me, when God gives me specific instructions to be somewhere, I want to make sure I'm there. I want to make sure when provision comes, I'm there. I want to make sure when God's trying to speak to me or bless me, I'm at the right place. It's like God said, go up to the mountain and I'll meet you there. I'll speak to you there. There's something about being in the right position. And that thing blessed me because especially in a time now where people are essentially quarantined and Zoom is like a huge thing. You would have never thought. My pastor had not called any of them other Zooms. My pastor wasn't on not one Zoom. It was the youth leaders in a sense that was doing these Zoom calls. But this one particular Saturday, And this young man was faithful to coming, not knowing that he'd be blessed. So that thing blessed me, and I want to encourage, let's be in the right position. Let's be in the right place. It's something about being where you're called to be. And then there's this duration of time where it's like, I don't see why I really need to be here. And there's other things that are calling me. There are other things that seem to be appealing. But in one moment, everything changed.